So I've put this video off for a long time just because I just kept buying Blu-rays and 4Ks and forgetting to record, and it's gotten to the point now where I've got so many new Blu-rays over the past, how many, like 3 months since I've done an update, that it's gotten pretty ridiculous. But I want to do updates. I don't want to just leave it until the next Blu-ray collection. I want to update um, this channel as my collection grows, especially since I've just started buying 4Ks, which is a big deal. For me, I've always wanted to jump onto the format. I've always been pretty late when it comes to jumping on new formats, but I've jumped on it now. So I've got a lot of 4Ks to show you, but I've also got a lot of Blu-rays to show you as well. So I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to show you the Blu-rays first. Yeah, this is in no particular order, and I've probably missed out a couple. Yeah, I probably missed out a couple of films that I've bought recently that I just forgot. But anyway, I'm going to try run through these pretty quick because it's pretty insane how many films I've bought over the past couple of months compared to usually. But anyway, starting off, I got Doctor No. The new Bond film came out recently, so I wanted to, get one of the more classic ones on Blu-ray. I've had this film on DVD for years and years, but decided I wanted to upgrade it to Blu-ray, and I gave it a little bit of a watch, and it looks really impressive considering the age of this film. It is a beautiful looking film, beautiful looking Blu-ray. So yeah, Doctor No. It's one of my favourite ones as well, actually. Next up, we got Whiplash, which is a film I've been wanting to see for a while. I watched the film on Now TV, I believe, and then straight away I went out and I bought it on Blu-ray because this is a fantastic film. Great performance by J.K. Simmons, really suspenseful and tense as well. So I got Whiplash. And in preparation for the new Scream film, I picked up Ready or Not, which is directed by Radio Silence, who are directing the new Scream. And after watching this, I can safely say that I think I'm really excited for the new Scream. I think it's in good hands, tonally. This film, it doesn't feel like a Scream film, but in terms of how they mix the comedy and the horror, I think the studio made a good choice with getting Radio Silence to direct Scream. This film was a lot of fun. Yeah, really bloody, really violent, really funny as well, really smart. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Next film I actually picked up for my girlfriend because she really likes this film, and that's Power Rangers. It is what it is. It wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be, but yeah, I got this for my girlfriend, and it's okay. It is what it is. It's okay. And then finally, for the Blu-rays, I picked up The Bourne Identity, which is a great film. Still one of my favourite action films. Still my favourite film of the franchise. I'm not a huge fan of the Bourne franchise, but I really like this one. I think this is a really good one. So yeah, I haven't watched it on Blu-ray yet. I was going to get it on 4K, but I heard that the 4K transfer was pretty shit, so just picked up the Blu-ray, which must be, 15 years old by now. Yeah, pretty old release, but it is what it is. And now we're on to the 4Ks. I really need to invest in a tripod because my arm is aching. But yeah, anyway, 4K time. Right, I've just pulled these off the shelf, so they were in alphabetical order, so I'm just going to go pretty much alphabetically. Starting off, we've got Alien, second favourite film of all time, so I had to pick this up. I haven't watched the entire thing on 4K yet, but I've flipped through a couple of the scenes, and yeah, it looks great. Not a huge fan of the packaging, and the special features are a bit slim, but this is still a great transfer, and obviously a classic film. Sorry if the camera's terrible, I'm just trying to reach. Next up, we got the Dark Knight trilogy. I think this is the first thing that I bought when I got my new TV. Yeah, obviously Nolan is notorious for shooting, practically on 35mm cameras and IMAX. So these films obviously look fantastic, especially the IMAX scenes. Yeah, these are great looking 4Ks. They're a lot warmer than the Blu-rays, which is great. I love it when films, especially films that are shot on film, have that warm hue to them. I think it looks great, and yeah, these films look great. Big fan of the first two, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, two of my favourites. Dark Knight Rises, not such a huge fan of, but it is probably the best looking 4K out of the bunch. I'm actually getting through these pretty quick, which is good. We've got The Goonies. I didn't own this film on Blu-ray previously. I've only ever owned this film on DVD. So I didn't really have any point of reference, but if I'm being honest, I wasn't too impressed with this transfer. It looked a little bit too clean. It looked like a bit of DNR being applied to it, and the colours didn't really impress me. But, still a classic film, classic film. Oh, missed one out. We've got Demons, Arrow Video 4K. I mostly just got this because the packaging looked really cool. And I still haven't seen this film yet, but I am a big fan of, 80s horror schlock. So I'm excited to check it out, but really, really great release. Great slipcover. So I'm excited to check this one out. Looks like a lot of fun. So we've got Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I have watched again, and looks really good on 4K. Obviously, this is a true 4K actually, which is surprising, considering most superhero films now have, 2K digital intermediates, and they actually went back to the negative, I believe, and made a full 4K remaster out of it because it was shot on film. And yeah, it looks amazing, and it's just really just a great thing that we managed to get this film anyway, considering so many people were saying that it didn't exist when it clearly did. And it was well worth the wait. I love this film. It's probably the best film out of the DCEU besides Wonder Woman. Karate Kid. Again, like The Goonies, I never owned this film on Blu-ray, so I didn't really have much of a point of reference to it, but I was actually pretty impressed by this. I thought the HDR was great. It was, the colour was amazing. It's very grainy, but, it's a lot of detail, and it just looked really good. I was really surprised with how good this film looked, and, I loved it. When I picked this up, it had been a few years since I watched it, and watching it again on 4K, I fell in love with it all over again. This is such a great film. The Matrix. This is another one that I got pretty much the day I got my 4K set up. Looks great. A lot of the green tint has gone, and it's much more natural looking. And yeah, looked great. And classic sci-fi film. Not really too excited for the new one, honestly. It kind of just looks like a remake of this one. But yeah, if you haven't got The Matrix on 4K, you need to definitely check it out. Predator. This was one that I was very anticipating getting because the Blu-ray release is terrible. It's notoriously terrible, and I'm a fan of this film. So as soon as I got my 4K set up, I knew that this is a film that I had to get. And this is a great looking 4K. Finally, we have a remaster of Predator that isn't total dog shit. The HDR is great, the detail's great, all the grain is there. Yeah, looks really good. Thank God, because I can't think. I've seen Predator on VHS, I've seen Predator on DVD and Blu-ray, and it's always looked terrible, but that 4K is quality. I'm very excited about this next one. This one just came a couple of days ago. Scream in 4K. I actually made a video recently discussing the trailer for the new one, and also discussing the screening that I had at Cineworld for the 25th anniversary, which I believe was the same transfer as this. And I said in the video that I wasn't too impressed with the transfer. I said it looked way too dark. I said it looked DNR'd to hell. But surprisingly, watching this on my 4K TV, it looks a lot better. I'm not sure why, no idea why. Surely, you should think that seeing a 4K transfer at a cinema would look better than seeing a 4K transfer on, your TV. But it looked a lot brighter than it did in the cinema. The colours popped a lot more, and I really have fallen in love with this transfer, actually. I can't imagine going back to the old Blu-ray. Really natural looking, great detail, great colour. So this is a great transfer. I wish there was more special features because I'm a huge fan of this film. It is one of my favourite films. Probably the best script of any horror film ever, but still a great transfer. Final one, thank God. Watchmen: The Ultimate Cut. I love Watchmen. It's probably my second or third favourite comic book film, but I've only ever seen the theatrical cut. I've never seen the director's cut or the ultimate cut. So that was the main reason why I bought the 4K, was just to watch the ultimate cut. But I haven't watched it yet because it's like 3.5 hours long. So I really need to find the time to watch it. But I'm sure it's going to look great because Watchmen is a visually stunning film. So there you go, I finally got around to doing another update. I know I kind of rushed through it a little bit quick, but there were so many, and I didn't want to make people who don't really care about this channel, which is most people, sit through a video longer than 10 minutes. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.